What's up, guys? Cliff here from Not Gospel Studios. I'm with Joel. We gave Chandra a few days off for her birthday. While the cat's away, the rats will play. Is that how the saying goes?
I've never heard that. That's hilarious.
The hot topic right now, obviously, is gun control. These terrible tragedies, these shootings that are happening as school shootings. There's a lot of differing viewpoints on that. I think Joel and I have places where we meet up on this and places where we don't. We're going to talk about and discuss this very sensitive issue, and hopefully you all will feel free to add your voice to the conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right, so Joel, you had a friend, you said, who just called you recently or texted you recently and said that the Oklahoma shooting that happened was like
right next door to her.
Door to where she was at. And there was 19 kids and 2 teachers at the one in Texas. Here's my question. It's like, what do you think, Joel? How do you fix it?
Yeah, so this is it. If
All right.
I was campaigning as a politician, as we had local elections last, 2 weeks, I see all these posters up and it's all kind of the same thing. Vote for me, vote for me. It's like, I don't even know what you guys stand on. I would campaign on the promise that I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get a hired staff police officer in every single school in America. That is the requirement. If you don't have that, you cannot open as a school. If you don't have the officer present, you cannot have kids there that day. That, to me, solves this almost totally.
See, okay, so I agree with you, but I'm a little more extreme. I know I am, because you know me, like gun enthusiast, gun advocate for gun safety and all that jazz. In my opinion, it's like, I take my kids out to the range. My son knows how to shoot a walnut off of a fence post at 30 yards or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a good shot. And I'm all about gun safety, and I feel like it's throughout history, the places where the government has disarmed their citizens, those places are the places where totalitarian governments eventually became the thing. Mao, Hitler, you name all of these totalitarian governments were the ones who wanted to disarm their citizens. And what I can't understand is how 9/11 happens. What happened to all of our airports?
I got locked down.
Airport security went through the nose.
That's what I'm saying.
Armed guards.
Security.
Freaking M16s or whatever you want to call it. Like, I remember people talking about it and traveling, and dude, it was insane. The images on the news of the armored guards, or armed guards, excuse me. And then somebody pulls off a bank heist. What happens to the banks? More guards with guns. Somebody threatens a politician. What happens to the politicians? Armed guards all around our politicians. We arm our politicians. We guard and protect our politicians, our money, our independent businesses, you name it, with guns. Why do we not want to protect and defend our children with armed guards? That I don't understand. So I agree with you. I think you have a police officer who's armed and trained in there, but I see these other schools. There's one, I think, in Ohio that's rated, I may have got the state wrong, rated the safest school in America. They have X% of their teachers going through mental health screenings, and they went through mental health screenings and concealed carry training, and they have weapons on them. Nobody knows who they are. They went through the screenings, they went through the training, and they have police officers present, and they have the big signs out there saying, not the dumb gun-free zone sign, which I think is an invitation for a criminal to just come in and do awful, terrible things. Yeah. They have signs out there saying, our employees are armed to defend our children. If you come here to harm children, it will be met with deadly force.
See, and I agree, but I don't think it should be a requirement for every teacher to do that, because I've seen people
not every teacher, right?
Dude, I dated in college some of the nicest girls in the world. They want to be teachers, and they're like the most, I hate this world, but like girly girls, they're gonna freeze in 5 seconds. If a gunman comes in, they're going to bawl their eyes out and fall on the floor.
This is actually a place where politically left ideology it's reconcilable with itself.
The gun thing?
Yes. Is that...
Because I have something to speak on that too.
The ideology of defund police or whatever you want to call it, and and all that kind of jazz, that coincides with we don't want armed guards at our school.
No, I don't think anyone's fighting that.
Well, they don't.
it feels like everybody agrees, so I don't know how that hasn't happened already.
I don't think they do, dude. I think people on the left don't agree. This is the phrase. The phraseology is more guns on the campus is bad. The Democratic pundits, I've heard them say things, and the Democratic congressmen and representatives, they don't say we need to arm teachers and police officers. Don't need armed police officers and trained individuals at our schools. They don't say that. They say bringing more guns to schools is always bad. What we need to do is get rid of the guns.
I'm less for arming the teachers, and I'm more for having an officer there, because I can see how potentially the armed teacher thing could cause a conflict. But I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I'm not vehemently like...
I feel like if you have more people, the response time's faster. The same people that shout defund police because police are evil, that would be saying, oh, well, only the police and government should have guns.
This is the other side of the coin, because bad people are bad people and they're always going to be bad. I think you need to make it a little bit harder to get those guns. If your kid's in your house, if someone just picks up a knife and stabs the kid, we, for a while, are probably going to put the knives up further away. I think part of the solution is the officers. I don't think you ban the AR thing, but I think it needs to be harder to get them.
The weapon of choice is not the problem, because what are you going to do when the next time somebody drives a van through... what was the person who drove the van through the marathon or whatever it was, or the parade? And what are you going to do? You're going to ban vehicles? You're not.
The thing is, though, nobody's driving vans into these schools and killing these kids. So that's my thing, is like, I think you cannot just ban the guns. I agree. They're going to find another weapon of choice. But I think you have an officer, and I think the other thing is, I don't know what it is. You need some kind of a thing where you can go get a gun. But this crazy-looking 18-year-old kid that comes in...
Riddle me this, Batman, okay? When we guard our money with armed guards, when we defend our politicians with armed guards, when we defend some of the most benign crap on the planet with armed guards, pawn shops have armed guards, small businesses have armed guards. We go into an arena, guarantee there are armed guards at the Super Bowl, and nobody cares. Guaranteed there are security officers... at Disney World. When we defend these things with armed guards, make it make sense why there should not be armed guards ready and able to defend and protect the lives of our children at these schools. And also make it make sense why it shouldn't be optional if teachers at schools want to go through all the training and mental health screenings to be discreetly and anonymously armed and ready to defend their own kids. Why they shouldn't have that choice. Why that shouldn't be optional. Make it make sense.
It keeps happening. This thing keeps happening. And that's one thing the left was saying, well, we don't need your thoughts and prayers. And it's like, that's why my solution, I was like, dude, this makes sense. Get the officer in the school, and in my opinion, make it a little harder to get this gun. Because it's the weapon of choice.
Since they made the laws turning schools into gun-free zones, school shootings have increased.
Yeah, I agree.
Without question. You can look it up. Look up the information. Since those laws have been put in place, school shootings have dramatically increased. Yeah. My question then is, have people been attacking military bases with the same frequency? Have people been attacking and shooting up police stations with the same frequency? No. I would wager it's because they know they're going to get their face shot off.
I don't know how this because I'm not seeing everybody fighting about the police officer. I don't know why that hasn't happened yet. Why haven't
they aren't. None of the Democratic candidates or Democratic representatives, none of them are mentioning we should have armed guards in our school.
What about the conservatives? I don't hear
the conservatives
them.
are. I hear them all the time. That's the first thing I saw is please defend our children. We are sick of these gun-free zones. The conservatives are saying we need to do something to remove these gun-free zone laws out of our schools.
Okay.
Because all it's doing is it's like a giant invitation. Come here with your weapon and hurt people.
This is a problem with leftist ideology too, is their whole thing is people are good. Gun-free zone because people are good. Get rid of the guns and everyone's going to stop. No.
Gun-free zone because we don't want guns around our kids. Well, we want the right... Guns aren't a bad thing. If you have armed guards, short of a suicide bomber or somebody driving a van through God forbid, they drive a van through the schoolyard during recess, short of something like that, armed guards are going to take out those people with malicious intent. People with issues are the people that have malicious intent are going to have to get way more creative to do anything bad.
That's what I'm saying. Is you make it hard, I believe you will see these statistics go down if you make it really hard for that kid to carry out what he wants to carry out.
Do you think we're going to start seeing an increase in private schools? And
so I was going to say, when I have kids, absolutely, I can think of a school in our place called in our area called Christian Academy.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm going to find a way to do that because no one's going to do anything.
In New Jersey,
nothing's going to happen.
There's a statistic in New Jersey, 40 or 45% of public school teachers send their kids to private school.
So I grew up around New Jersey. That place is rough. That is a rough state, dude.
And how much you want to bet that at private schools there are armed guards? I'm saying, man.
I know several.
I'm telling you. I think you're going to see an increase in private schools. The struggle, the problem I have with that is all this does, instead of fixing it and uniting us, all this does is make a deeper divide, dig more trenches in the sand. Oh, I'm sending my kids to private school, then forget you. You know what I'm saying? It just drives a wedge between the people. And I think that's the mission. If I was going to go down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole, I'd say that's the mission, is just to use all these, never let a good crisis go to waste.
On one side, you have private schools. The other side, you have blue-haired eye.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Joel and I have, this has been some interesting conversations. Let us know what you think about this stuff. This is not, for anyone affected by these tragedies, we do not take it lightly. We want our children safe. We want solutions. We don't want more of the same. We want a fix. And I don't believe throwing up some lame-o sign that says guns aren't welcome here is a fix. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Always be on the lookout for more content. Hit the notification bell. You guys have been awesome. Do continue to support quality independent content. And as always, keep being awesome, because that's how God made you. Let's talk about it.